What's going on? Welcome to the video. I decided to do a little voiceover because I wasn't really explaining things very well in this clip and the clip after. Um, so essentially, we bought this trailer for $3,200. At the time, it was the cheapest dump trailer we had found in 6 months, by far. I didn't go check it out, unfortunately. My brother and my business partner did, and it needed a little more work than I would have picked up, but they picked it up. And now this thing's gonna need a lot of work, but for the money we have into it, we couldn't find anything that had this kind of capacity for almost, like, this is half the price of the next cheapest thing we can find. We were really happy with it. So we've used it a couple times. It worked great, but it definitely needs some love. The tire was shot, so that's when we parked it. But yeah, I'm really happy with, like, the size of the dump trailer and everything. Just needs some work, so we're gonna take some time and we're gonna get this thing right. I'm just kind of walking you around the trailer, showing you all the spots that are gonna need fixed here. There's a lot of them, but I also had just got this welder, and I was kind of excited to be able to practice putting in some sheet metal because I do have some dreams of doing body work on some old trucks that I have and stuff like that. So this was kind of a nice little practice with some of the sheet metal patching and stuff like that. So I was excited to do some of this metal work at first. By the end of it, I was definitely getting a little sick of it, but I'm so happy with how it's turning out. At the end of the video, you'll think it looks amazing, in my opinion. I figured I might as well give you a little bit of a cost breakdown. So I can't remember. I think it was $3,400 is what we actually spent on it. This is all Canadian dollars, by the way. And then we did buy the welder, but I wouldn't really consider that part of it. The welder was $600, and the gas and everything was another $500 to fully set that up. But that was a great investment. We're really happy with that. As for just metal to replace it, if you already had a welder, we're honestly only about $150 to $200 in metal into it, maybe even less. And then I've used about 3/4 of one can of $80 paint. So all in all, we're about $300 into the repair. But yeah, I'm gonna stop rambling. Enjoy the video. And we're gonna get back to it. We're gonna cut this off. This is pretty rough behind here, but I think we'll clean it up and we'll put some of this paint. Oh, I got myself at the door. What is this? This is a rust retention coating. Works pretty well from what I've used it on so far, so let's get to that part for now. And then I also opened this up a little bit more. There was a family of wasps living in there. Got that dealt with, so we're gonna plate up all the sides here, the bottom part and to the two outsides. We'll see if we have to do something with that. But yeah, so I'll show you. We'll get this cut out and cleaned up, and I'll show you what's going on after that. Alright, so I got it cut off. We're gonna put the paint on there, on the corner, and then I got that cut up and lifted, and I chiseled all the crap out of there that's just been piling up and rust, and we're gonna paint that as well. Paint this, and then I'll cut a panel out of this piece for there, and that'll get tacked back down. Making good process. Hello. Yeah. Good girl. So I worked by phone light for a while last night, but got that panel welded on and brace put in. So I'm gonna get the grinder out and I'm just gonna hit them down. Ran out of wire for the welder, so I just got like part of that tacked back there. But I'm gonna grind these down and put wherever the paint is. Throw that on top of it and be done with it. Alright, so after some time off for some family vacations and then a little bit of time getting this thing back on the road. We're gonna get back to this today. I didn't show some of this stuff, but just got a couple spots patched up. They need to be ground still, but we got some big spots in the back that I'm gonna show. Everything's in here. Plate fixed on the back. Just all needs to be. Okay, this clip didn't have audio for some reason, but I got that front section and this side section over here cut out, and then I sanded down and repainted all those pillars there. See that little square I got cut out there? And then I got the back and all those little spots there. They all got painted black and just, get some rust paint on them, sanded back down just so I had an extra peace of mind, I'm now remembering that I thought it would be a good idea to voice over and just show clips in the video. And I'm really glad that I gave up on that idea in about 2 clips from now, because that was stupid. I don't know why I did that. But I got this panel all lined up and lines cut down, and then I got the edit peeled off. Here I got it peeled off. It's pretty rusty behind there, and getting that little panel peeled off was a pain. There's a big pile of rust there, and there was even more. A lot came out. But yeah, this thing's pretty nasty. Yeah, this is the last clip that I didn't talk in, so we'll get back to the video. Okay, so I cut out all those pieces and everything's ready and fitted. I just tacked this in, and I decided I should probably put that in, and I decided I should probably film it. So yeah, we got everything cut out. Pieces all cut and fitted, ready to go in. So we're gonna get tacking in some sheets. Those aren't looking half bad. Getting pretty happy with how I'm welding, but yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and start tacking all that in. Sheet metal first, and then we got supports over here because this beam, I don't really trust it, so I don't really trust this beam. It's not the most solid. I do think it's just in this corner because that's where the old welds were, and they didn't properly cure it, like treat it in there. So I think it's okay, but I'm putting in whole new corner supports on both sides to re-support it. So that beam should just be fine. We're gonna put some rust paint over all this, so hopefully it stays how it is. Yeah. But we'll get tacking those on now. I'll show you when I get them all tacked up. We got gas now. It's amazingly helpful. All this was done with flux core, and I'm pretty happy with how it came out. And pretty much the entire inside was done with flux core. But we got the gas, and that was done with gas, and that's the splatter versus gas versus flux core. It's a big difference, and it's way faster. But yeah, so the other night I cut out all the last little spots that need tacked up, and I put in panels for them and tacked them in to a certain extent. So I was testing out the welder here. And then exposed this. I have I cut this out of it. We're just gonna get a little deeper in there, but we got panels, little patches on top of everything. Some we gotta put in down here later on. But yeah, we're finishing up the whole upper box. Hopefully should be able to get all the box done today. That's my goal. And then we'll start sanding the entire top side down, and we're gonna paint the top. I'm gonna get it painted so it's just sealed up because it's got a lot of exposed metal. So I want to get it all sanded and wire wheeled down, and then get it painted. We'll put the boards back in, and then we will jack it up and do the underside. But yeah, my goal is to finish that for this video, and then we'll do the part 2 finishing the underside, because I think that'll be a lot quicker with smaller patches as opposed to these were some really big patches. It took a long time, especially with the flux core. Now that we got the gas, we're moving a lot faster. So yeah, got some work to do, but I'll check in and show you all the things we filled up after, and then we'll grind it all down. Hopefully get it all painted. That'll probably be tomorrow, but alright, I got all the patches done. So all the spots are filled up, ready to go. They need to be grinded all down and cleaned up. But yeah, so it's supposed to be really warm Thursday. So I'm gonna get the leaf blower, blow everything out of here, all the leaves, all the debris and everything, clean it all up, and then Thursday morning I will sand this all down and give it a paint, because it's gonna be 12 degrees, so it should be able to dry. So I'm gonna paint the whole top half and get all the welds cleaned up and everything. But yeah, the new welder is amazing. Just makes things go way faster. Being able to like make a nice clean edge instead of having a whole bunch of splatter. I'm not perfect yet, but I don't think I'll ever be. Okay, so I didn't film it, but I got that all grinded when I said I was going to, and then it was dark when I finished. So the next morning I woke up and early before I had a job, because it was like 12 degrees that day, so it was warm enough to paint. And I painted the whole thing really quickly in the morning. Pretty happy with how it turned out so far. The outside's looking great. And I just did the top half because this is the first half of the video, but in the next half of the video we're gonna lift up the whole bed part of it, and we'll do the whole bottom section, which is this frame down here. It's got some issues, just like the top half does. The front and like the sides, the whole front half here, this is all gonna get rocker guarded now that it's got like a base layer of paint on it. It's gonna get rocker guarded, and then it's gonna get painted black again after that when we paint the frame. I didn't paint the back side of the doors because I was debating on leaving it wood and sanding them down and like giving them a nice stain. But I think I'm just gonna go black because it looks pretty good. In here, the sides are looking real nice. Back's looking good. I'm pretty happy with it. I feel like I had a clip, but it's been like a week or two now, so I can't remember if I filmed sanding and painting these boards, but they turned out really nice. The inside of this I painted. But yeah, so we'll paint this back up in the next part when the whole thing is going to get jacked up. And we're going to deal with this whole frame, because the frame has some issues. It needs some beams replaced and everything like that. And then we'll get the rocker guard put on and all the finished paint done in the next video. So yeah, the next one should be a lot quicker because it's a lot of smaller spots. This one had a lot of welding, like these big panels was a lot of welding to put in. So I think the next section should be a lot quicker, and then gotta wait for a warm day hopefully. I'll also paint in cold days as long as it's not raining. I don't really care. But yeah, should be good. I'm really happy with this top turned out. It's looking amazing. Once we get the rocker guard and then paint on, you won't even see any of these seams anymore. Like, they're pretty flat. They're not too bad at all. A little bit of rocker guard on there and it will seem like the whole thing is like that, you know? Get it sprayed thick, nice and lumpy, and then that'll also protect from when what's happening is, like, when the truck's being pulled, it's kicking up salt and sand and dirt, and it's all hitting the frame here and wearing it down really thin, and so yeah. And then rusting it out over the winter, you know what I mean, when it's sitting. It's just getting sprayed, and it must not have got cleaned, the guy that we got it from. They must have just never cleaned it, they just repaired it, so I'm gonna put some big plates on there, replace all of that, and then we will rocker guard everything. But yeah, that'll be the next video. I'm really happy at the transformation. We put it like that, boom, you'd think it's a whole new trailer. It's not. But yeah, I'm really, really happy with it. This thing's never gonna be perfect, but at least it'll be solid. Alright, thanks for watching.